My name's Aaron, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic. And today I'm viewing Alien for Men. Thank you, Kevin, for the sample. The top notes are anise, apricot, cashmere, leather, and the base notes are amber and beechwood, and this is a woody scent. It is £52 for 50ml. Enter the mysterious and central universe of Alien and discover the powerful, addictive and bold new alien man. Eau de Toilette, a elegant, sensual and masculine fragrance for men, created a blend of aromatic freshness which is paired with an intriguing combination of mysterious wood, smoky leather notes to create a modern fragrance for men. When I studied my year of perfumery in university, I had a brilliant perfumer who was incredibly inspiring and very, very kind, because I was incredibly obsessed by raw materials, and he would just bring boxes of little 50ml things for me to just play with in my lunch break. And that's what I used to do for, I would say, pretty much a year, was just blend raw materials. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just intrigued by smelling single raw materials. And then I went on to finish my chemistry degree in Cardiff. But he had such an impact on me because he was so kind and he was so patient, because I'm very obsessed by smells and fragrances and quite wired to that part of my brain. And he was the person that was bringing in single raw materials and smelling, and he was telling me about the original Alien, which I used to wear, and that was patchouli based around a raspberry top note. And he might have been the person that was part of the team that created it. And generally, as a perfumer, it's very rare to have a perfumer which has their own brand, because it's incredibly hard work. The majority of my day is spending blending accords, coming up with ideas, incredibly creative. To be a perfumer, people always ask me, what do I do to have to be a perfumer? You have to have a science degree, because I use my science degree all the time. I use it with viscosity, I use it with pH, I problem solve with things all the time. And so my chemistry degree is the core of everything I do. I approach things very logically like a chemist, but you have to have an incredibly creative brain that can visualize finished products and come up with names and concepts. So to be an independent perfume house is, I would say, the most difficult form of perfumery. And actually, as a perfumer, you can work in industry and you can work in the fabric conditioner. You can develop fragrances for fabric conditioner, you can develop stuff for candles, and you generally work within fragrance houses developing parts of stuff or working to analyze stuff, or there's so much within the fragrance industry. It is not developing a single fragrance. You have to not give up, and you have to, all your money goes into it, because raw materials are so expensive and you have to find your unique way to do it. But he was incredibly inspiring because he said that, like, you can do it, and he never told me you can't. I can't remember his name, but he was such a lovely man, and yes, I was quite inspired by his kindness and generosity towards me. He didn't have to bring in industrial like single components, but he did. That's very touching. So anyway, back to the fragrance. Do we have our fragrance samples? We're engaged with our higher self. Let's get testing. So I don't know when this came out, but it smells, to me, it smells very blue fragrance, which means it's got dihydromercenol in, which gives a very masculine feel. This is very nice, fresh, clean, with some slight dark nuance in. So it definitely has some slight wood compounds in, and it definitely has some patchouli in. This is primarily coumarin based fragrance with a few naturals and a few balsam qualities in at the base. This has some lovely aldehydes, and I'd say one of the lactones, gamma dalactone, which gives that sort of fruity feel to it. This is a sort of slightly fruity, peachy skin feel to it. So this has a lovely sort of softness to the dry masculine feel. Absolutely has ambroxan in it, and absolutely has lineal acetate in, so it has some lovely acetates working through the whole thing. It has some lovely ambers in it, so this has some really lovely ambers which I enjoy working with massively. And this is just a really classic way to accelerate fragrances through a core of Isoe Super. So this is built upon Isoe Super, ethyl brassweight, coumarin, linalool, so it's really lovely done with some blue notes into it. Stable, safe, all its regulatory paperwork, That's what you expect, nothing else, in a little blue bottle. It has some spearmint notes in the base. Also menthol at very small amounts to give aid the projection and cleanness to quite a dense, heavy formulation. Some lovely, it's just full of aroma chemicals, but it's been done very, very well, very inoffensive. On to my final thoughts. I like this very much. I preferred the woman's one actually, because I think it was a little bit darker to me, a little bit more dramatic, but this is a very safe man's day fragrance. It's fading off and you're left with the Isoe Super. It's primarily Isoe Super and Must Now, and a few wood compound seed oil I'd say is in there as well, and some oak moss compounds in there. So unfortunately, as the top notes go, you're left with not much. The mint note is quite dominant actually. Just giving cleanness, sweetness, beautifully combined with the coumarin. But this does feel like painting by numbers. It doesn't really feel like there's too much magic and too much interest in there. So I'll go through my marks for you. Technically, I think it's really good. Of course, it's really good, but it is a little bit like painted by numbers. So give it a 4 out of 4. The price, I think, is absolutely worth the price. Excellent. Do I like it? I prefer the woman's one, as I said, and I prefer things with a little bit more interest, a little bit more darkness, and a little bit more. I just prefer the female one actually on my skin. I think it's lovely. It's very light, very inoffensive, and undoubtedly masculine because of the way they've chosen the musks and the hydromercenol. Sweetness and clean, projecting, inoffensive. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 simply because it's not interesting. It just smells very nice, very safe, very inoffensive. This would make a perfect day fragrance for work actually, and I think this is suitable for all skin types, to be honest with you, but it's going to go, I doubt whether I'll have anything left on my skin apart from coumarin, Isoe Super and a few musks after about an hour, and then I think 2 hours it's going to be gone. And I like my fragrances to sort of have much more punch to it, and it can be done for this sort of price. But I think it's lovely. I think the demographic on this is, I think, all demographic, and I think this is a brilliant day fragrance for men. How would I improve upon it? Smashing the naturals. I'd amp up the patchouli in this. I'd maybe put some leather compounds into this, and absolutely always I would add in some Rose Absolute, because Rose Absolute has the way, even at small amounts, to make things smell massively expensive. But the cost would go up because roses breaks very expensive. Sandalwood at the base would be very lovely. It's just lacking a lot more naturals for me. But that is very personal, and I think 7 out of 10 is really good. The price is phenomenal. Again, this is the thing, I think you have it on with all your other fragrances, and it's a non-thinking day fragrance. You just apply it, you smell nice, you feel really good, you get on with your day. But I don't think it's a particular going out and impressing. But I think this is really good if you are just wanting a fragrance to just get on with your day and just sort of smell particularly nice and pleasant. Nice gym fragrance, very inoffensive. Hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content. Lots and lots of moving hands and amazing reviews. I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.